Morning. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to another stream. Morning. What's up, Randy? All right. So, full send. Yeah, I saw that Mets signing Correa. Yeah, I've been getting a little bit more into the Mets lately. I haven't been a big baseball fan, but last year I got into it a little bit more. The Rangers win yesterday? No, they lost. All right. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to another day. Yesterday, interesting day. We pretty much just held up all day. Just sort of grinded higher. A little grind to the upside, just chopping up and down. Nothing much, but on the S&P, we did get something pretty interesting. We did get a hold of this important 3860 level. This is what I would be watching today. What we'll talk about in today's live stream. The 3860 hold on the ES, I think, is pretty important here and potentially showing a little bit of a sign of a change. A little bit of sign of a flip in the short term, maybe, over the next day or two. So this is something to definitely watch today. 3860 on the ES, we'll talk about it. This was something that happened yesterday. I think this could sort of change the momentum in the short term. So definitely watching that. Saw a lot of stocks sort of hold some demands yesterday as well. We had Meta hold that 113. Microsoft held the important 239 level. So you did have some holds come in yesterday as well. So a good little, it's like that sort of flip, and it's this first signs of some type of strength that stepped in. So we'll have to see how that continues today. But we'll talk all about it in the stream. So once again, welcome back. Yeah, let's get started. So today is the 21st, December 21st. Let's go ahead and pull up the economic calendar here. Here we go. Economic calendar. So today's the 21st. Current account deficit, I don't think there's much there. Consumer confidence, we could see if there's any move off consumer confidence today at 10 a.m. Let's watch out for that. Existing home sales at 10 a.m. as well. We could see if there's any move off that. So a few economic things today to watch out for, but nothing crazy. Tomorrow is the big day. Jobless claims 8:30, GDP 8:30. Then Friday, PCE price index, real disposable income, real consumer spending. So we have a lot of stuff coming up Thursday and Friday. This could definitely change the any type of short-term trend we're seeing on the market. This could absolutely change it. So we need to be aware of that. Economic news Thursday, Friday this week. I would be very cautious with that news and those events coming in here into the end of the week. So Thursday, Friday, big stuff. Today, nothing crazy, but tomorrow is where it starts. Earnings calendar. We did have we had FedEx and Nike, I believe, report. Let me go ahead and pop that up here. So here it is. FedEx and Nike moving a little bit to the upside. We have FedEx and Nike yesterday. Both of them, I believe, are moving higher this morning. So definitely we'll sort of jump into those, share with you guys what I'm seeing there. FedEx held at actually a really nice retest level. FedEx should help retail. Nike should help retail as well. So I think that's why you see Lululemon up today. Etsy is up today. You're seeing some of those retail names with a little bit of strength because of, I'm assuming, something that was said on FedEx and Nike's earnings. So watching those today after hours, Micron, and that's really it. CarMax, that's about it. But FedEx, Nike, we'll take a look at them today. Good morning, enjoy coffee. You can't beat them, join them. Thanks, Jay Price. I gotta meet this guy. I appreciate that, Jay. As always, thank you for supplying me with my daily caffeine. Much needed. All right. So Microsoft, I want to share with you guys this retest level I'm watching today. Costco is at a huge level as well. This is something to definitely watch out for. Apple 134, definitely something to watch as well. I'm keeping an eye on those three today. Those are probably my top three. Amazon retest, pushing back into a previous rejection point. Meta 113. Tesla, we'll talk a little bit about Tesla and just how the slide is getting pretty intense. And then Home Depot 316 level. This was a level that I was looking at as a potential support. It broke below it. It rejected it yesterday. And that's pretty important for Home Depot to be under 316. So we're going to look at those. We'll obviously throw in, FedEx. We'll throw in Nike. We'll throw in, AMD, NVIDIA. We'll throw in all the normal names today. But those are the main ones that I want to focus on. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. So here's the NASDAQ. And really, the main thing that I'm watching here today is going to be this whole zone between 230 and around 300. It's not exactly 300, it's more like 280. But this whole zone looks pretty tough to me. So you have these previous lows here this is around 11,280 that we have not retested yet, which could be where we need to move back to the upside. We could need to see that push today up towards that 280. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on these lows here. This 280 level is definitely important to me. I personally do not feel comfortable going long in the green zone that you are looking at on your screen, right? This is sort of the no long area, just sort of no trade zone, maybe potential rejections. I'm really not too confident in going long between 11,280 and 11,230. And that feeling has saved me a lot this week, right? It definitely saved me yesterday. right? When people maybe were going long here at the previous lows or previous highs. Yesterday had an absolutely awesome rejection off this previous rejection point in the futures and the after hours session. This was between Monday and Tuesday yesterday. This is where that Bank of Japan news came out. And you can see we pushed in the morning. It got pretty aggressive. Started to look pretty nice, right? If you go to the 1 minute chart, I'm sure a lot of people were like, oh shit, this looks pretty damn good, right? Something like this. But we had to be paying attention to the futures level, right? You can't ignore the levels. And yesterday, you can see we pushed into it. We pushed right into this rejection point from overnight, Monday to Tuesday, and we had a very harsh rejection off that level. So this whole zone, it concerns me, right? And I don't have much confidence in going long through a zone like this. So for me personally today, if we're trading in this area, I will very likely not be looking for long entries. I just don't like to trade into supply, which I believe is pretty heavy in this area, right? You can see a bunch of rejections in this area. Rejection here, again here, once again here. Got a rejection here, and again here. And, who knows today? Maybe we push into it again, and maybe we fail once again. So, no interest in longs up in here. I think the only area I would look to maybe go long is if we actually break over this 280, right? If we start to turn this into support, and then maybe we get our push back into the 400s. If we can turn this previous rejection here into a support level, then maybe I'd look to take this. But, between this low and these rejection points, it's about 11,230 to 11,280. It's about a 50-point range that I'm just really not too comfortable in long entries within. So that's my first watch, right? That's the first thing I'm keeping on my screen here to see what happens in this area. If we break down again off this low, right, you could say this is somewhat of a bear flag that was formed yesterday, but I think it's starting to become a little invalidated. It seems like it is sort of pretty strong here. The NASDAQ holding up, no real flushes, but we'll see what happens intraday. But you can see yesterday, pretty low volume. Look at the volume end of day versus the typical end of day spike in volume. If you guys notice that, you can see Thursday of last week, you see this end of day spike in volume, right? The power hour spike in volume. Here's Friday, you had your spike in volume towards end of day. Here's Monday, nice little increase in volume towards end of day. And then look at yesterday, right? Look at yesterday, right? You did not have any increase in volume into end of day yesterday. I mean, it was just a consistent slide. And yesterday, we basically just closed flat with pretty much no volume. So I'm a little bit questionable here, right? Maybe an aggressive long here could pay out a lot of money, right? If you are right, you could probably catch a very nice entry point, but I don't know if I will be the person that gets catches that move, because I'm still I'm not convicted that this little hold yesterday is going to amount to much. So being careful there. You are seeing some upside through this zone right now, but I would probably wait to see if we can get over 280. That would probably be my my level, over 11,280. If I don't see that, then I probably won't look for longs today. If I see that, right, then maybe there's something here if I really like the price action that I'm seeing. So watch this zone, I would say 230, 280. Just be careful of maybe some type of bear flag here that could set up, and just watch this previous low around 280. I think that will be a very important level today. All right. ES. So the ES actually is looking decent here, right, for a little flip, a little break and retest to the upside, right? It doesn't look bad. You can see right here, you can see it's different than the NASDAQ. Right here, you had a previous low, right? You had a previous rejection. You had some rejections that came in yesterday. And look at what's going on here in the pre-market. So I can't say that this doesn't look slightly bullish here as, in the short term. The reason for that is you can see you have a previous rejection that is now turned into a little bit of a triple bottom support in the pre-market. Look at that flip that happened here in the pre-market. So support, rejection, rejection, support, support, support. So you're starting to hold here at this 38.60, which is interesting. And I think this is partially due to the strength on the energy sector. Energy is hot this morning, so that is definitely going to help the ES. And you can see we are definitely seeing a little bit of a push off that level right now. So this is interesting on the ES. This definitely could lead to some squeeze here, in my opinion, if we hold above 38.60, right? As long as we're above 38.60, I think there's some room here. So I would say potentially around these previous highs, 38.96, 3900 is maybe a target to watch out for, right in this area. And maybe you just trade within this zone. But right now, yeah, nice push on the pre-market. I would watch this zone up here, 3900, right here, and right here. That's potentially where this could squeeze to, maybe up to this 3900 area. So watch out for that. But yeah, I mean, a 38.60 hold, that's very interesting here, right? That's very interesting here, 38.60. So keep an eye on that 38.60 today. As long as we're above that, I would be a little bit on the side of this holding, to be honest. You can see it right there in the pre-market. All right. Dow Jones has come back pretty nice. It has held. Let me go back out to the hourly chart. I need more time here. So here's the Dow on the hourly. This is the last 90 days, or I mean, it's not actually, but that's the chart we're on, 90-day 1 hour. And you can see we sort of held this low. And we didn't get quite back to it, 32.5, but we are sort of holding this previous low here. I would say watch out for that hold around 32.5. Now, this is what you're definitely going to be watching today. If the Dow pushes back into this 33,500 level, watch out for a retest rejection point. So, why do I say that? You can see here, support, 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 and then support again. And then look what happened right here. 33.5, rejection, right? Rejection and rejection, triple top rejection. So if the Dow pushes into 33.5, does it reject there, right? Is this a rejection point and for another move lower? Or are we going to break 33.5? Are we going to hold it as support? And are we going to continue higher here? That's really the next question. 33.5, I think, is the main level to watch here for the Dow. That is a previous triple bottom support that turned into a triple top rejection. And now we are trading near it. We're coming back into that level. So this zone here, 33.5, 33.4, watch out for that here on the Dow. That will definitely be your influential level today. If we're above 33.5, I would say there's continuation. If we hold it as support, if we find rejections there, right, we could give up this upside move from yesterday. So watch out for that. 33.5. Russell's just sort of holding above this 1760 level. I don't know, guys. I think Russell's pretty irrelevant, to be quite honest. But you can see here, 30-minute chart. I would watch the 1780 area. This is what I'd watch here on the Russell right here. These previous lows that turn into a rejection, this is what I'd watch. Right here, and right here. Okay? 1780, rejection into support. Watch for the rejection there at 1780 today. If it gets over that, right, if you get a push over 1780, if you get it to hold it, then you have your potential upside continuation. If you come into it, you start to show rejections, then I would say you could find a move here to the downside. So 1780, that's your key level to watch here today on the Russell. All right, so NASDAQ, sort of right back in these rejection zones. I'm really not that confident on this one today. We'll definitely watch it in this zone. And then the ES looks a little bit better because I believe of the energy sector. If we go to the XLE right now, the XLE is you have too much love for the Russell. The XLE is holding a pretty important level here, and the XLE has found some support and has pushed over the last few days. The oil futures are also pushing higher, up 2.5% here today, the oil futures. So a little bit of energy strength to watch out for. Now, I don't know if this is the beginning of that bullish push that I was talking to the chat about when the last time we had that big freeze that came through Texas. We had a big freeze, I think, in 2021 that came through Texas, froze like the pipelines and caused a bunch of problems with supply for oil. We had a big push on the energy sector when that happened, and we're having another freeze coming in like 4 days. I think the northern part of Texas is going to be negative, like -1 or close to that. So I don't know if this is some kind of strength because of an anticipation of another freeze that's going to be coming. I don't know. That's just my hypothesis. I don't watch oil enough to really know, guys. But all I know is that oil, it is pushing higher, and the energy sector is pushing higher, and it's causing a little bit of strength on the energy sector. And that does, in reaction, that does help the S&P 500, and that's what you're seeing here. I think this morning, I think that's why the S&P is slightly stronger than the tech sector. All right, let's continue. Microsoft. So, 15-minute Microsoft, right here, right? I am absolutely watching this today. 243.50, 244. If I see any weakness step into that NASDAQ, I will be watching for a rejection right here, right? This is a break and retest. This is a break. This is a potential retest. And if we start to reject here, then I am looking for this move, right? I am looking for the previous lows to turn into rejection points. So I will be watching this today on Microsoft. If it breaks over 243.50, 244, then I'm not interested, right? If it gets back above these lows here, then I'm not interested for downside. If the NASDAQ's strong, if the S&P's strong, then I'm not looking for the downside. But if it starts to show me something here, I am interested in that potential downside. Previous lows into rejection points, definitely something I am eyeing today. It's a little bit against the overall market right now because the market is showing some signs of strength. So be careful on that. But if we get some kind of flip, some kind of weakness intraday, definitely watching that Microsoft rejection there. Costco. If you're in the house of thinking, the market finds some support here and continues higher, if that is what we start to see, I think this could be a fantastic opportunity on Costco. This is a daily chart triple bottom. So if you guys see what happened the last time Costco came down to this level and the last time Costco came down to this level, I would consider it. I wouldn't just think that it's not going to potentially try here. So I am definitely watching Costco here at 450. I would consider to put on a swing trade with a stop under 450. If I see some type of strength step into the market, that is something I will definitely be eyeing here on Costco. It's a little bit against the market again, a little contrarian. I'm not going to go for it if I see the weakness just continue to kill this market. If Costco just flushes 450 today, then I have no interest. If I see Costco defend 450 all day, if I see some type of momentum to the upside on the market, I'll consider it. You do have economic news tomorrow and Friday, which could sort of throw a monkey wrench in the plan here. You might not want to swing a Costco trade through some of this economic news, which could totally just kill the move. So that's something to consider. But hey, it's a decent watch here. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. Costco 450. Is there any type of move back to the upside here off this level? Pretty aggressive downside move over the last few weeks, just down about 17% off of earnings. Is there a willingness to hold here? If there's not, right? If there's no willingness to hold 450, then you could even look for the downside here because there is little to no support below 450. Below 450, I would expect this thing to really start flushing. If we go and zoom out here, there's not much here. You can zoom out even further. Yeah, look at this. If we do break 450, right, if that is what Costco wants to do, look out below because look at this area. There ain't nothing there. There's nothing there until 388. So this could be a nice trade to both ways. I would keep an eye on Costco. I think there will be an opportunity here soon. It's either the demand hold off 450, or it's the flush under the demand hold and the continuation down to the next support, which is around 388. So yeah, Costco, definitely one of the watches I have here. Apple. So Apple's doing something a little bit interesting here today. If we go down to the 15-minute, this is sort of looking like Microsoft to some extent. You guys can see right here, rejection, 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 And what's going to happen here today, right? 133.30, 134s, this whole zone, yeah, I would watch out for this. So Apple rejection here, once again, and again. If you break down, right, if you break down this 133 area, you start to reject this, right? This could be a nice little break and retest, a little previous low into a rejection. So watching this whole area, 133 to 134, watching that for rejections. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can see, I know it's a little bit far away and hard to see here, maybe on like a mobile phone or something on your iPhone, but you can see right here, if you can see, you have a previous low back here on the 4-hour chart. What the hell is going on? 4-hour chart, and look what you're coming into. You're coming right back into it. So, yeah, watching this zone, this whole green zone, 133.30 to 134, I would be watching that zone. If this zone here rejects, this could be a nice setup, nice risk to reward for downside. So watching that for sure on Apple. All right. New morning routine. Happy to have you, Unknown. Hopefully you're enjoying it, man. Thank you. Amazon. Same thing. Another watch for me here. Amazon. Previous lows. Previous consolidation. Rejection here. All right. Not quite, but, close to that area. And then I'm going to be watching this again. 86, 80, 87. Going to be seeing what happens here on Amazon. All right. You can see right here, previous lows, consolidation, little rejection there. Watch for the rejections here around the 86, 70. All up in here. Watch for these rejections in this area. If we get a rejection here, this could be a very nice break and retest rejection of the previous lows. If we get above it, right, then it's the same thing, right? You look for that. That's what's great about these levels. You can play these both sides. If Amazon gets above 87, if it starts to go above it, starts to move higher, that's a nice new support level. But if you want to know when I buy and sell, you have to come to the Discord chat. I mean, I'm not can't tell you exactly when I'm going to buy and sell before it happens. Support, rejection. I would watch out for this, right? Right here. Watch for this whole zone, 86, 50, 87. I think this is an important watch here in this area. All right. Let's go. Meta's something I wouldn't recommend to I wouldn't recommend to trade Meta. But yeah. Hold on. I'm trying my best not to make comments today. All right, guys. So if this is your first time here, there's a schedule here, right? You guys see these charts? You see this? Microsoft, Costco, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, Home Depot, right? You guys see those tickers there? This is what I go through as I go through the live stream, right? It would be in your best interest if you have questions about these stocks, like if we're talking about Meta, pop a question in the chat about Meta, right? And then Tesla, and then Home Depot. All right, we're going to go through this first. We're going to continue on the schedule we have. Okay, that if this is your first time here, I'm not going to stop and go off schedule because you keep on saying AMD. Just, that's how it works. All right, Meta, support, 113, right? Watch out for that 113. You guys can see right here, support. I've been trying to play Meta to the downside, but I've given up. I've given up on Meta. I don't want to trade it anymore. I've tried to push lower into 113. I've tried to play that downside move, but it just won't give up, right? It just won't give up. It's been very strong in this channel. And yeah, you guys can see right here, just sort of channeling between 113 and 125. So at this point, I really don't like trading Meta. You can see it's literally right in the middle of the it's right in the middle of the channel here, and the next direction is, your guess is as best as mine here. So tough area to play Meta. I would either look for the hold here, right here. I would either look for the hold at 113, right, or I would look for the rejection up at 125. That's really all I'd look for. All right, that's all I'd look for. So 125, 113, those are the levels I'd watch on Meta, but it's just been too choppy as of late. So just be careful on that one. Tesla, yeah, the 113 bounce was very nice, if you caught that. I didn't expect it to bounce that hard, but yeah, Meta was sick yesterday. If you go to Meta, go to the 1 minute, that thing just rallied off 113. So 113 is definitely a strong hold. All right, next one we got here is Tesla. And man, oh man, I did not expect this. I will be honest. I don't think anyone really expected this. But what a downside move. I mean, just getting absolutely crushed. 109, 110, I think is. I mean, if we scale this chart here, if we zoom into this area on the chart, if we were looking at this, I would say the real support is not until here, right? If we were looking at this chart here, if we were just focusing on this area, let's just say that this is the chart in focus. I don't think there's support on this chart here, probably down into this 110, right? So rejection here, support here, right? You have some levels here, but I don't think they're very strong. So I know everyone's guessing like, oh, where's Tesla going to stop? Where's Tesla's support? You know, et cetera, et cetera. My new read here is I'm thinking 110. I'm thinking 110, right? You have rejections. You have support right there at 110. I'm thinking that's probably your next stop here on Tesla. So it's going to be interesting. I think you have to play Tesla on an intraday basis, unless you just want to hold puts. If you've been holding puts and just, forget about them and just wait till there's a reason to get out. But yeah, we definitely are under the 150, right? 155. That's a big break that we had here. We're in this zone, this chop area. If you guys see this chop fest between 155 and 110, you guys see this all this chop in this area. I don't think there is a legitimate hold level until 110. Now, I'm not saying it's going to hold 110, but I think that is your next legitimate potential hold around here, right? I don't take any of this as a legitimate area of support, this chop in this area. So, yeah, I mean, if you think if you think it does come down to 110, I would just try to find your intraday entries. That's what I would try to look for. Some intraday entries. It's going to be, it's going to be a little bit tough. I'm sure Tesla is going to do some crazy stuff. It's going to happen, right? There's going to be days where Tesla just does something totally random that people lose a lot of money on. That's the thing I'm a little bit worried about trading this downside on Tesla. So yesterday, it was just the flush of the lows, right? You guys can see right here. Yesterday, it was just an entry maybe at the flush of the lows and just a continuation. Today, you could look for maybe a flush of the pre-market lows here if we get more downside, right? And then you just got to watch for support around 137, right? You can see maybe a flush of this double bottom low in the pre-market could cause some continuation. Maybe a downside move below yesterday's lows could cause some continuation as well. And then on the upside, just watch out for this rejection around 140, 150 right here. So it's going to be all about these short-term little trades, I think. It's just a matter of how long you're going to try to hold this out. This is an interesting one. So you can see these are the levels I'd watch on Tesla today. I'd watch these highs here at 140, 150. I'd watch the lows here around 138.50. I'd look to see, do we get a break of either side? And if we do, does the continuation look strong? If it does, if it looks strong to the downside, I would just watch this after hours low, 137.50 area. If you do get the upside push over the pre-market highs, 140, 150, I mean, how do you take this, guys? To be quite honest, I don't think me or you would not know how to take, these levels here. This is sort of just systematic selling. You can see, look at this. It's just systematic. Someone's just unloading here. I'm sure Elon's selling. I'm sure there's other big sellers here on this stock, but this is a very strange price action, right? Very strange little just systematic downside yesterday we saw. So interesting. You know, it's going to be, I'm still in the boat that this is going to be difficult to trade, even though yesterday looked like it was pretty damn easy. But yeah, I'm going to be a little cautious. I'm going to watch 141.50, 138.50. I'm going to see what happens outside of that range today. If there's anything clear outside of this range today, then maybe I'll look for it. CPI is not today. It's consumer confidence. Did we get a consumer confidence number? Or is that, no, that's at 10 a.m. We got the current balance. We got the current balance number. Current account balance, negative 217 billion versus negative 223. So it's it's better than expected. I'm not sure how much that really affects the market. Canadian CPI. Okay, there was Canadian CPI that came out. Canadian CPI was 0.1, estimated was 0.0, so that came in higher. But the previous was 0.7. Canadian CPI year over year, 6.8. Estimated was 6.6. Previous was 6.9. Very similar to our numbers. Yeah, very similar to our numbers. So we did get a Canadian CPI number. We'll see if that affects the market at all. Maybe a little bit today, so watch out for that. Yeah. All right. Very similar to our numbers, though. J Price. All right, next, Home Depot. This is interesting on Home Depot. 316 area. It looks like we're above it now, so it might not set up as expected, but this was sweet yesterday. One of our traders in the chat, ADR, if I can get this to move over, caught this really nicely yesterday. You guys can see right here at that 316 level. See this previous low from Monday. 316 previous low on Monday. This is Home Depot. Look at what happened yesterday, intraday. Look how beautiful that was. We dropped lower to open. We pushed higher in the afternoon. We pushed higher right there into the previous day lows. This is the same exact trade that I talked about in my video yesterday about trading off the previous day lows. And yeah, look at what happened on Home Depot. Previous day lows into a really nice rejection. Nice downside move, right? Maybe scale out as you get your move here in your favor. Eventually, Home Depot did sort of push back into those lows, but it is still sort of rejecting that level. It's slightly above it here in the pre-market. I don't really know how to take these two non-existent candles. So I would just keep an eye on this today. Home Depot 316. This is potentially what the hell's going on here? This is potentially a previous low into a rejection point. So we had some previous lows here around 316, 317. If we turn this into a rejection point, Home Depot could continue to slide here. But if we get over 316, 317, then potentially we hold that as a demand here. So watching that area on Home Depot 316. If we hold it as support, maybe there's another channel trade here that I could be taking advantage of. If we hold it as rejections, maybe there's another downside move. But it looks like as of now in the pre-market, we are sort of holding above that 316 area. Let's go to semiconductors. Semiconductors, first one, NVIDIA. Let's go hourly chart. So NVIDIA is in a strange area here, in my opinion. I'm a little bit concerned about, the next direction. It's sort of hard to read. In my opinion, to go short, I would need a rejection of 165. That would really be the only place I'd look to potentially short this name. If we can get a push back into 165, and then maybe a rejection at these previous lows here, previous low here, previous rejection here, I would look for the 165 level to be a potential short entry. So going to be keeping an eye on that. And then the next real support, in my opinion, is down here at 155. So I think you're a little bit in no man's land right now on NVIDIA. You're right in between this channel, this 10-point range, around 165 to 155. I think you either need to wait for this, or you wait for this, or you wait for the push above 165 and the continuation. But trading NVIDIA here right in the middle seems a little bit questionable. I really don't see any key levels here around the 160s. I guess it's just sort of a psychological level, you could say, around 160 that's holding. So I'm a little bit concerned on NVIDIA here. I don't really like a trade here today, but I would look to see if it tries to make a move to either side of these ranges, 165 to 155. AMD, if we go to the 15-minute, we can zoom in here on AMD. So AMD came back and held the 65 level. Now, that's very important for AMD, right? You can see right here. Look what it did. You have previous lows that turned into a rejection here, right? We couldn't get above it. We got back above it, and it turned into support again. So, moving forward, if AMD is above 65, I would be bullish, right? I would look for upside. As long as AMD is above 65, I would look for this to continue higher. If AMD drops back below 65, then I think that is your flip to the downside. So, for me, key level on AMD is 65, previous lows here, previous lows here. As long as it's above that, if it is holding this 65 level, then I would say there's a tendency to move higher. But, obviously I'm not saying that AMD is going to go straight up today. That's not what that means. What that means is that be careful shorting anything on AMD if it's above 65, because this could be your support area that you don't want to really get involved with if you are shorting here. So 65 is your key level to watch. That's sort of your flip. That's your middle of your seesaw there. I think above 65, you have a bias to the upside. Below 65, I think you can potentially see that rejection step in once again. Right there. Okay? So 65 on AMD, I think, is your key level. Let's pull up the live stream ticker form. Let's see what you guys got here today. I'll also throw in FedEx in there and Nike. So we got TAL, Goldman Sachs, I'm not sure what that is. Goldman Sachs, CMG, FSLR, Netflix, FedEx, and Nike. We'll look at those real quick. If you guys start heading out here, please don't forget to press the like button before you head out. That would be fantastic. TAL International. Can I pull up a meme? Here you go. That's my meme for TAL. Whoever put that. All right. May the odds be forever in your favor. All right. Next, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs. XLF has been weak. Let me go XLF real quick, because the XLF has been weak. So XLF had that triple top right here. Look at this. So XLF had a pretty nasty triple top. It's tough, man. I don't know. I mean, do you think that XLF tries to rebound here? I don't really see a key level, so to say. Maybe around this 33 area. Could be a potential hold around this 33. If XLF holds that, then you could see maybe a bounce here on Goldman Sachs. But your best entry here on Goldman Sachs is going to have to be back at 356. Right? You can't really. It's the same. Look. So this is what you're looking for. Look at what happened here on Goldman Sachs. This area is starting to look like this. All right? And where were the best shorts here? The best shorts were back at a retest, or even just back up here, right? After a push. So if you're looking to short Goldman Sachs, I think you need to see this, and then you go short. I do not think you chase this after this flush. So I would look for a retest of this 356 area. The XLF is starting to curl a little bit, so you might not want to be short Goldman Sachs with that XLF curling a tad. Daily chart on CMG. This is Chipotle. I would just watch this 1375. I think you're going to eventually retest that. So 1375. Looks like you're going to retest that back at that level. FSLR. Yeah, the 161s, 162s. You guys can see it right here. Rejections here, rejections here. Yeah, head and shoulder formation. I see it. I don't know how many times I've thought that the solar sector should drop, but it just doesn't. So just be careful of that. But yeah, that rejection looks pretty damn good to me. It looks pretty damn good to me. Okay. Daily chart on Netflix. Yeah, so Netflix is just within this range. I mean, it dropped yesterday in the pre-market and then just sort of made it all back, held this 285, and now it's just back in this range. So Netflix might just get range bound here, right, between 295 and 285. That's what I would watch on Netflix, the range there. FedEx had earnings. You guys can see the nice push we had, and look what it did. It just retested the previous highs here, right? You guys can see right here, just retested the previous highs and sort of held that 165 level, right? Previous highs, 165, 165. It pinged back to it. It held it on earnings. Yeah, I would look for it to continue. Maybe watch this 180 area. That's probably where I'd watch. 179, 180 would probably be the potential rejection level to watch out for. And then next would be these highs around 183. So 180, 183. Nice hold of the previous lows there, or previous highs. Nike, big push. If we go out to the 4-hour chart, you can see it just held this demand here around 102. Look at that. Look at this demand that was here around 102. Previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, and it held it off earnings. So it looks like it's starting to reject at this channel high. It went around 116.50. So I would just watch out for that. Rejection here, rejection here, rejection here. Watch out for that 116.50. Caterpillar, I'll end with, it's just in a channel, right? Caterpillar's just going to sort of kill my contract. I have some puts on Caterpillar and probably just going to get stopped out of these here. 240, my stop loss is over 240. If Cat pushes over 240 today, then it looks like I'll be stopped out. But it looks like it just got stuck in this channel. Held the lows around 225. Maybe it rejects 240 again and just continues to trade in a channel, right, until my contracts expire pretty much. So that's that. All right, that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys did enjoy the live stream. If you want to get Adobe, all right, I'll do it. I'm feeling nice. Adobe rejections at 360, man. Rejections at 360. That would be my next play. There's nothing here besides a rejection at 360. You can't try to play this. I would not try to play this long. I mean, you could try to play it long off this 323 area, but I would look for rejections at 360 and support at 323. It's just in a channel. That's all. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. If you did, press the like button before you head out. We've been getting more likes on the stream, so I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys putting in that really tough effort, that initiative. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for all the support on the streams. Hopefully you enjoy them. Hopefully this helps you. Hopefully, coming here every morning is giving you some type of insight into what to watch on a daily basis. I hope it's helping. I hope it's giving you some type of confidence when you come into the trading day. Yeah. We already went over Apple. If you want to go back and check, Apple is in the stream already. All right, guys. Thank you again. Press the like button, subscribe. I will be here tomorrow. I might not post a video tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday, so there's probably a good chance I just take the day off from YouTube videos. So, yeah, probably don't expect a video from me tomorrow, but I will be here on the live stream. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
Bye.